What's up, guys? Celebration has been over for almost a week at this point, but
No, it's still going.
in our minds and in our hearts, we wanted to keep it going a little bit longer, so today we're just going to talk about our favorite moments from Star Wars Celebration. We're going to talk about panels and news and things that all of us got to experience from across the world, and then we're also going to talk about some of our personal favorites. But let's start with, the news stuff. One of the things that I wanted to mention was just Billy D. Williams. Period.
Just being back.
Just Billy D. Williams. Yes. His part of the episode 9 panel, I thought was wonderful. And everything, he didn't even say anything. He just stepped out on stage and laughed a little bit. And I was like, that's the coolest man I've ever seen. Didn't even have to say a word.
It's true. Yeah.
And he just dressed up and had his sunglasses on. He's like, hey, it's Lando. I'm like, yeah. He could have just laughed the whole time.
Yeah. Everything he did at Celebration was amazing.
His defense of Lando.
Oh, that was so good.
Where let me ask you, did anybody die? He's getting really defensive. He cares about Lando.
He said, I'm tired of defending Lando.
Yeah. He did his best.
He stood up to Vader a little bit.
He did his best. You know, he's got people to protect. And it's funny, the new Age of Republic Leia comic kind of gets into that. They find some common ground because he was like, I was just trying to save the lives of my people. And obviously that's something Leia can relate to. So I thought that he was hilarious. And just everything he said, Lando never left me. I just wanted to give him a big ol' hug. I'd love to hang out with him.
Yeah.
He's so cool. We saw him once at Dragon Con, and I was just like... The next thing I wanted to talk about was Jedi Fallen Order. That panel was a lot of fun to me. Mm-hmm. I mean, not only because we got to see it all, but we got to share it with, Elliot and a handful of other... gaming channels. Yeah. So that was really fun. And
we're part of the Game Changers group network. So they announced this a little bit vaguely at EA Play last year, but we've known about it for so long, not really any details, but it was just so satisfying to finally see that trailer and just, like you said, be there to see it with some other gamers.
Yeah, we all, the Game Changers met up and sat together, so that was cool. And, just to be relieved, I would say. Everyone has some issues with EA, and,
fair enough.
Yeah, fair enough. And so people are I'm cautiously optimistic is my go-to phrase, and that's how I felt about Fallen Order. But to finally see something and hear them talk about it, it was relieving because it feels like what I'm looking for.
Yeah, and everyone at EA acknowledges the fact that they may have messed up a couple of things, and they on the Fallen Order panel they were like, this is a single player story mode, not a button masher. No microtransactions.
A little bit of that is that got big cheers. I mean, it's good that they're not doing that, but it's also shouldn't have been that way from the start. This is a favorite moments thing. It's not to, but yeah, from what they are saying about Fallen Order, it's exactly what I'm looking for. We have yet to see any gameplay. We'll see that at EA Play most likely, but hopefully. From what they showed so far, I'm really into it. It connects to other Star Wars media. What you said, it's not a button masher. They said it was thoughtful combat. I'm really into everything they said. Mm-hmm. So that was a lot of fun. I think the next thing I wanted to mention was just the cast members, especially new cast members in general. Mm-hmm. Every single one of them were just so giddy and excited and happy.
I know you're thinking about Bobby Moynihan.
Oh, yeah. Him at the Resistance panel, just giggling and pointing up at the screen at Orca.
That's me.
That's
my
loves
character.
Orca so much, and just to take that much pride in his character makes me so happy.
Yeah, every new person that we saw up there that has a new character just talked about how exciting it was to be a part of the Star Wars world now.
Yeah, so literally the entire Resistance panel, Christopher Sean and Donald Faison. We'll get to Donald Faison in a minute, but like everyone there was so excited to meet fans, and they were so generous. Like if you ran into them or got the chance to talk to them, they were just as excited as you were. Mm-hmm. Naomi Ackie was really excited. Pedro Pascal and Gina Carano and Carl Weathers were all just like, oh my gosh, this is insane.
Pedro Pascal told a cool story on the Mandalorian panel about when he first met with Favreau and Filoni about this show, and he saw kind of like the storyboard art, and he was looking around and was like, this is so cool. Like, which part am I auditioning for? You know, is it this guy? And they're like, no, you're the guy. You're the Mandalorian. And he just like was flabbergasted.
He like collapsed on his little table.
Yeah.
But yeah, Donald Faison was obviously, this is more like a personal highlight, but whatever. he just getting to talk to him and meet him. And I more want to put it on, like, praise him for being so enthusiastic with the fans. He threw so many people on his back for that Scrubs picture. Like, I wasn't going to ask to do that because I thought it would be weird, but so many people did it that I was like, well, I'll regret it forever if I don't. Yeah. And he was game for it every single time, and that has to be exhausting. And then, like, I got to shake his hand and meet him a little more at the autograph session, and he was so nice, and like he was taking his time with everyone in line, and like it's just great to meet stars like that who relish in interacting with their fans. And
I saw him up on the Star Wars Live stage. I think it was right before my photo session. Yeah, and he was literally just jumping up and down yelling, I'm in a Star War.
He and Bobby Moynihan were just like stomping around like, this is amazing. We should have done that. We should have done that when we got on stage.
I mean, like, if we were characters, I would absolutely get up there and make a fool of myself.
Yeah.
But we had to keep it professional,
I guess. The next thing I wanted to talk about was the 9 teaser. Of course. That was a huge moment.
Good.
The whole panel was fantastic, but we already talked about like Billy D and stuff. But the teaser itself just we saw it streamed at the Galaxy stage, so we weren't even in the room, but the energy was still insane. People screaming and like gasping and cheering, and
yeah, I was like,
including me.
I was choked up basically the entire time just from being overwhelmed.
I remember it was when Billy D came out, I was starting to feel emotional, and then they showed the image of Lando on the Falcon, and I was like, here we go. And then it just was like a struggle the rest of the time. But yeah, the 9 teaser has so many cool shots in it, and
the Ray flip, I mean, come on.
That had the whole room in cheers. The Death Star had me screaming. The cackle, I was like, oh my gosh. And then having Ian McDiarmid come out to like confirm, yeah, you heard right.
Yeah.
I just want to make sure everyone knows.
Yeah, everybody went absolutely crazy when that happened.
Yeah. But the last kind of universal thing that everyone got to see, I would say, was Kelly Marie Tran and Ahmed Best getting their due. Like, when they came out, the panels basically stopped because people were on their feet, cheering, chanting their name, clapping. That needed to happen.
Yeah. And they brought it up a few times in interviews with Kelly, and she was like, I was trying not to cry every time that happened, but, you know, it was so heartwarming to see that happen, and it happened on the Star Wars like live show on the floor too. So
every time they came out, every time like Jar Jar's name was said, people cheered. Just, it's nice to go to Celebration and remember that what happens online is not reality. What happens at Celebration is more real.
Like, all the bullying and just like hate speech that goes on online about the Star Wars community and the fandom and just the people in Star Wars, there was none of that there. It was just all about love.
I saw an article come out where, I forget what the outlet was, but they're like, maybe the Star Wars fandom isn't all that bad. It's like, yeah, no duh. It's like, you just been writing articles about online trolling for the past year and a half. maybe focus on other things.
Every fandom has
a dark side.
Has a dark side on the internet. The internet is a dark place for the most part. So, but in person, go to a celebration, you'll see just how awesome and friendly and lovely it all is.
Yeah, it was so refreshing to see those two moments, and
it filled up my gas tank of love.
Yeah,
because we were running on fumes there for a while. It was a dark time.
Well, we made it,
and now we're full.
I think it's a good way to put it. We're full of gas
full
now.
Of gas.
Okay, but now we're gonna transition into the more personal stuff that was special to us. These aren't in any kind of order, and I'll prove that right now by starting with the Star Wars show stage breakdown we got to do. That's something I never would have guessed would happen to us.
Yeah, that was pretty incredible. And, we didn't really know if it was a for sure thing that was going to happen until kind of the night before.
It was, I was just kind of like tempering my expectations, like, maybe this will fall through. So I'm just not getting my hopes up, but it didn't fall through, and we got to do it.
Yeah.
We got to do a live trailer breakdown, which we were going to do anyway, and the one on our channel's coming out this week, but we got to do one live at Celebration.
Yeah, it was crazy. I mean, doing something that we would normally do at home, at our desk, just writing a script, and then just talking into a microphone or talking into the camera, but having a live audience and being able to do it with the trailer immediately after the panel was over. It was nuts. I mean,
and we were like up there, as Molly puts it, white knuckling the microphones, just like trying not to let them shake. Because there's a lot of people there, and it's being streamed out and stuff. It's a lot of pressure, but I feel like we got some laughs. Yeah. There were some good insights, and
a couple of people were like, you guys know, like thousands of people watch your videos and stuff online, hundreds of thousands of people. And I was like, yeah, but I don't have to, like, we can cut it,
we can
edit it, and I don't have to be standing on a stage in front of everyone.
You guys just think I'm smart, but I edit out every mistake I make. But yeah, that was so cool. And we just wanted to say thank you to Andy Gutierrez, Jermaine Lucier, Lindsay Romaine, and Mickey and Matt Martin, everyone that helped us do all that. Thank you. That was a dream come true.
Yeah.
But let's move on. I already talked about him. Let's talk about Donald Faison a little more.
Oh, okay.
Just because, I'm a huge Scrubs fan. I got to take an awesome picture with him. I got to meet him, but then that also snowballed into he retweeted and re-Instagrammed the photo. Then Zach Braff saw it and got jealous, and he retweeted it. I started a little lover spat.
Caused a lot of drama.
I never wanted to be a homewrecker, but it's insane that just snowballed, and it was this weird non-Star Wars thing happening during Star Wars Celebration that I was like, what is going on?
It's so funny that the only photo op / signature experiences we've had at Star Wars Celebration have been for people that we know from other fandoms.
That's not true. Yours, Sarah Michelle Gellar, yes.
Yeah.
I had my photo with Biggs.
That's true. I forgot.
But yes, we did go to see Sarah Michelle Gellar because of Buffy. Yeah. And that was like a once in a lifetime. She does not go to cons often.
Yeah, I was like, she stopped going to conventions a long time ago for Buffy related things, so I got to meet her at the last Celebration, and that was awesome.
Yeah.
So you had I didn't get to jump on her back.
Well.
But I doubt she would have approved of that. But I'm glad that you had your moment with Donald.
It was, I'll say, the whole photo session was handled better, I think, than last time, where it was really just like you're in, picture out. I got to shake Donald's hand. If I didn't have the autograph session, I still would have felt pretty good shaking his hand. He patted me on the back and was laughing about the eagle thing. So yeah, that was great. Let's stop talking about Donald because I've just gushed about him too much. Sunday night was awesome. That was again, kind of like we had a little bit of a break from Star Wars, but we got together with Space Dock and Templin Institute.
Mm-hmm.
And
well, we had to, because that was the premiere of the new season of Game of Thrones. It was during Celebration, so I feel like a ton of people had their own little viewing parties, so we got to do that with them, and that was cool.
That was very special to watch it all with them, and they're like the perfect audience. Like, everyone talked just the right amount. It wasn't too much, but
I probably talked too much for Alex's liking.
A couple people had some zingers, and they were worth saying. You didn't talk too much.
I'm a talker.
But then after that, we went to the Black Series Rebels after party, and that was the most fun. It was like a punk emo music night, and they played every song I ever listened to in high school, so I didn't stop singing.
Oh, it was so good.
It was so much fun.
And, like, we knew so many people there, and our friends from Templin and Space Dock, and we were there with our friend Zach and
Elliot.
And Andy.
And the Star Wars Newsnet crew, and of course Black Series Rebels.
Yeah.
So yeah, it was fun to just party with all of them. But yeah, shout out to Black Series Rebels for throwing an awesome party. I'll put a link to them in the description, because they also just killed it at Celebration.
Oh yeah.
They were doing like exclusive pin handouts, and they got swamped every time, and then they like ended the week with this killer party. Yeah. So go check out their stuff.
I managed to get my shirtless Kylo pin, so I was pretty happy about that.
Yeah. More than that, let's talk about just meeting Lucasfilm employees. I mean, we just would recognize people on the floor, and I'd go up and be like, "Hi, I'm Alex from Star Wars Explained," and most of them were like, "We know who you are and we like you." And that was so nice.
That was enough. We could have been like,
"What?"
What?
Yeah.
What? Okay. Thanks. You don't have to talk to me anymore.
Yeah, just not expecting that kind of reaction from them. And everyone was so nice to say that. Everyone we met was incredibly generous, and I don't know. I don't have a bad thing to say about anyone that we met there.
Yeah.
And it filled up our gas tank.
A gas tank of love.
Uh-huh.
It's full to the brim.
Felt great. The last two things are, I mean, what I would consider just to be the best of Celebration, and that's just seeing friends that we'd only get to see once every 1 or 2 years, and also seeing all of you guys. That's how the gas tank really gets full.
Yeah.
Is having a bunch of people just come up and be like, "I just want to tell you thank you for helping me keep up with the books or the comics, or for helping me get into the books and the comics. Like, I was only interested in the movies, and then now I'm watching Resistance, or now I'm reading all the books and it's because of you, and or I'm too busy, but I still know what's going on." And of course, people just saying thank you for taking like a positive, level-headed outlook on everything.
Yeah.
And we got to meet so many people. We had a handful of meetups after our panels, or after, or just scheduled meetups, and I was floored by how many people came.
Yeah, and I was also floored by all the fans coming up to us and saying hi, but also people like specifically, having things to say to me, and like I like what you bring to the channel, and that made me feel pretty awesome.
Yeah,
because I'm not in all the videos. I do a lot of the on-camera stuff, but yeah, I'm happy to be more involved in it, and I'm happy that people are liking it.
I think it's funny that just about everyone came up, and like we were doing the Schmoedowns. We'll get to that in a little bit, but we were doing the Schmoedowns, and everyone came up and they were like, "Good luck to both of you, but I'm rooting for Mollie." And I mean, that's fine, guys. That's fine. Whatever.
Thanks.
No, I'm glad that so many people were rooting for you to win the 5-way and then destroy me. So
it'll happen.
One day. But well, let's talk about the Schmoedown real quick. If you haven't seen them, they're both online. They have been for a couple days now, but if you haven't seen them, you can go watch them. We're gonna spoil them both. But this is your big mega spoiler warning.
Yeah.
I'll link to them in the description. But yeah, doing a Schmoedown at Star Wars Celebration is a whole different ballgame.
Yeah, it was my very first one. Normally they're done in studio with just a couple of people
like
around.
Maybe 20 fans.
Yeah, and mostly crew, honestly. And this was live in front of nothing but Star Wars fans.
Hundreds of Star Wars fans. That was probably more than my first live event.
The room was completely full. Everybody was telling us, like, who didn't get into the panel, how disappointed they were to not be in that room. I mean, they could have filled up a room twice that size probably, which is so cool. But I had so much fun. I did not win.
But you did well. I was really proud of your performance. I had a panel right before it and I missed the whole first round, which really bummed me out.
That's why I didn't win.
You did great in the first round.
You weren't there.
You did great. And the one question you missed in the first round, like Scrimshaw also missed it.
Yeah.
I think everyone but Andrew Dimalanta got it, which, by the way...
I think Laura got it too.
Did she?
Yeah.
Okay. Oh, right, because she had a perfect round.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, like all of the competitors, everyone except for Scrimshaw, was their first game. Everyone did really great. I was very impressed by Laura and Andrew.
Yeah.
So I hope that they stick around and keep competing.
I was pretty nervous once I got up there, but because like
that's normal.
My second round I got a question that I could have done multiple choice and I just blanked out trying to think of the answer to the question and I blurted out a name and it was wrong and I was like, oh no, I could have done multiple choice and I probably would have gotten it, but you know. That's how the game goes, and
it's a learning experience.
I'd love to do it again.
The stuff that you missed, I was like, okay, in round one, I might have gotten it, but I would not have been sure about it. It would have been kind of a guess. Round two, you missed an out of universe question, which I'm always kind of like, let's stick to in universe, guys.
Yeah,
that's
it's not the kind of trivia I studied for.
That's what I prefer. And then the third question you missed was just kind of weirdly worded.
Yeah.
So I thought that you did great. I was so proud of you.
Thanks.
I was so proud.
Thanks.
But then the next night, I faced off with Joseph Scrimshaw yet again. But good to get like a 1-on-1.
Yeah.
We've done a 5-way, we've done a 3-way. This is our first 1v1.
Yeah.
And the first round where we both went perfect and both got the bonus question felt so good. Like, we're supposed to be competitive up there, but I really wanted to high five him.
Yeah. First of all, the venue was awesome. It was completely full, 1,000 fans, and when they cheered, like, you probably could have heard the cheers from that building from like a block away. It was a lot.
Thank goodness for the lights. Like, when I looked out, I couldn't see anything. If I had, I would have been terrified. But that whole match was so intense, but so much fun. I got to keep the belt.
Yeah. You want it?
Yeah. We can show it off because this time Christian let us take it home. So it's ours now. For now. I'll have to defend it soon and check it in my carry-on or something. We'll figure out how to get it there.
Yeah.
But it'll be nice to have for a little while.
We'll figure out how to put it back here somewhere.
Yeah. We'll have to build a mount or something.
Yeah. But, I mean, legally it's half mine.
Yeah.
Still.
So you still kind of won. But outside of the Schmoedown and how amazing that was, it's just... We got to do a couple panels, which is also just crazy. Like, the amount of stuff that we got to do at Celebration was nuts.
Yeah, like just being involved in the convention itself, which we only started getting involved in Dragon Con a couple of years ago because we have just been going there for years as fans. And this was our first year being involved in something other than Schmoedown related things at a Celebration, and it was...
We weren't even involved in last year's Celebration. We just got to watch it.
That's right.
That was how we, like, met everybody.
Yeah. So, yeah, this was our first time being involved in the convention itself, and, like, people were like, are you going to do more next year? And I'm like, yeah, I'd love to.
So, we'll see. We were just so busy, but, like, yeah, I want to. And so I just wanted to say thank you to Thomas, who moderated our military panel, and Mark and Daniel and Alexander Freed and Jason Fried and John Lang. They were all on the military panel. I'm sorry again that I was late because we were doing the Star Wars show thing and that ran long. I was 5 minutes late. And then thank you, of course, to Christian and Ken and everyone at Collider who did the Schmoedown panel and the live event.
And their crew. I mean, they work so hard on those events and they're just so entertaining. The fans that I meet of not just the Star Wars related Schmoedowns, but all of it. They have some hardcore fans and they love it and they really show it.
We have to talk about Kaylee.
Oh,
the little girl that just loved you. I don't remember. Was she 4, 3?
I think she was 4, and yeah, she is apparently a really big fan of mine, and she came up with her dad and to say hi, and she
tackled you with a hug.
She gave me the biggest hug, and I was holding back tears.
That was so cute.
Yeah.
And then our last panel was moderated by Tyler Westhouse, and we were on it with Bria Livornia and Emma Fife, and that was about making communities online, and that was, of course, fun to talk about.
Yeah, so. Creating content. We talked a lot about positivity and, you know, stuff we always talk about, just keeping it positive.
And just getting started in general.
Yeah.
For people who are interested.
Yeah.
So, yeah, it was a great celebration. We were exhausted by the end. I think we got like 4 nights of sleep every night for 5 nights in a row.
I mean, we made choices.
We did. We made the choice to see our friends that we only get to see every so often.
We stayed up till at least 2 a.m. every night, and then we were up by 8 or 9 the next day.
Depends on what we had, but yeah, we were there for all of those morning panels.
Every morning I would wake up and my legs made me feel like a newborn giraffe, just like they just turned to jello.
Wobbling around. I remember you felt fine until you put your feet on the ground. I was like, oh, those hurt.
By the end of it, I was like, I think my ankles are broken. Yeah. Definitely.
But it was all worth it.
Yeah.
So, yeah, it was a great Star Wars celebration. We're still going to be covering stuff from Celebration throughout this week because I'm not going to not do trailer breakdowns and stuff for the channel. I have to go through the details now that I've had a chance to actually watch everything and over and over.
We'll have a vlog coming.
Yeah.
With some footage that we took.
So we got some stuff, but while it was fresh, we wanted to gush about everything that went on, our favorite moments, and yeah, that's it.
I miss everyone already.
I do too, but we'll see you next year at Anaheim.
Yeah.
So thank you guys so much for watching. If you haven't already, please like this video, subscribe to the channel.
And follow us on Twitter, Instagram, and Facebook.
As always, may the Force be with you.